Today I'm going to show you guys how to recreate this polka dot pumpkin. First we're going to start with our lightest color. We're going to dip it into the paint, get the sponge nice and loaded, and you're just going to press down and kind of turn it a little bit, pull it up, and just sort of place those all over randomly. And then we'll need to do a few on the lid too. And then we'll move on to our next color. We'll just go to the next, the light orange, and repeat this same technique, just using a different color. Then we'll move on to the final color and repeat the same technique. And be sure you don't forget about your lid. Now we'll paint the leaves and the stem of the lid of the pumpkin with black lab, and you're going to want to do 2 to 3 coats of this just to make sure it's nice and solid. Okay, once we're done with our third coat on the lid, we'll move on and put the black around the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the letters on the teeth of the pumpkin. So we're going to use a liner brush and get it nice and loaded with paint, and we're just going to outline the eyes of the pumpkin. Okay, now we'll move on to the letters and the outline of the mouth. Okay, so once you've added the black to the mouth of the pumpkin, we're going to move on to the fun writer and add all the small dots around the larger dots on the pumpkin. So we'll start with our Old Yeller, and we're going to go around the brightest orange dots with the Old Yeller paint. So you're just going to squeeze a little bit out and dot all the way around the circle. Then we'll move on and add the brightest orange dots to the lighter orange circles. Just make sure you don't forget to add the dots to the circles on your lid. Then we'll finish up with our final color and put the Blazing Saddles dots right around the yellow circles. Okay, for our last step, we're going to go ahead and add the white puffy paint to the outline of the eyes and the teeth. I've noticed that I made a little smudge here on the white part of my pumpkin where I don't want any paint. I'm going to take that off by using a pencil eraser. You do want to be sure that the paint is all the way dry before you erase it. If it's wet, you'll just rub it right back into the bisque. So as long as it's dry, you can take the pencil eraser and just kind of erase the paint right away, and you're good to go. So now we'll add the white puffy paint. And we're going to squeeze a little bit out, touch down, and then sort of lift and let it fall, and then touch down where we want to stop. And for our last step, we're going to add the white puffy paint to the outline of the leaves on the stem. Okay, our pumpkin is finished, and now we'll put it in the kiln to be fired, and it'll turn out just like this one.